Okay, in this video, I want to go over how to make your own study guide in Anki. So the study guide I made, if you watch some of the other videos, I'm a corpsman, so it's specifically for corpsmen. So it has all the corpsman bibs. It has all corpsman information. So if you're an IT or a BM or a GM, it's not going to help you much to pass your exam. So let me show you all the work that kind of goes into making a really good study guide. So the first thing you need to do, let's go to Navy Quick Links and let's find our bibs. Let's find our study material that we need to be looking at to make a good study guide. So let's see. So pick your rating. Pick your rank and pick your rating. So if you go to Navy Cool, Quick Links, this is the very first one, Advancing Bibs, Continue, Navy Cool. So I'm at E5 going for E6. So I'm going to pick E6, right? Goodness. Yeah, I'm going to pick the E6 bibs. Yeah, because I'm at E5 going for E6. Alright, so then you're going to go to bibliographies. So the results haven't came out, so it's still going to show the September 2025 bibs. Once the results come out, like literally like 2 weeks after, it'll say the March 2026 bibs. So go to bibs, click that, and you're going to choose your rating. Every rating has bibs. Every rating should be here. So let's choose an example. So for HM, right, it's going to have a list of all your bibs, and the easiest way to find these is to just copy and paste this, throw this into Google, and just find a PDF. That's the easiest way to do it. For most of these, I would say for like 80% of these, you can just do it that way. Just copy and paste it into Google, and you'll find like the most recent version of this bib. Let's use one that's pretty popular. Should be there. Boom, boom. Give my instruction, and let's just click and see what we get. All right. So this one's definitely it's definitely old. So let's see. And that is the thing. Like, most of these can be found on Google, but sometimes sometimes they're hit and miss with how recent they are. Let me make sure this is the most recent one. And the best way to do it is just check the bib. Like, it'll tell you what change, which version it is. Best thing to do, always copy and paste it. Easiest way to find it. So let me see. Not found. Awesome. Awesome. Well, Navy Med, mail instructions. Let's see. Always try to pull it from an official Navy website. And these videos are really, this one especially is just like very impromptu. I'm just trying to going with it. I did not prepare beforehand for this. We're just kind of just going off the top. So 60, 10. I forget what the bib is. 60, 10, 13. And just wait for it to pop up if it pops up. And yeah, this official Navy website, that's the date. So I guess that one was the most recent one. Okay. So, and to make my study guide, that's all I did. I searched, I made sure I had the most recent bib. I copy and pasted all these into Google. And if I could find it on Google, I made sure I had the most recent one. I downloaded it to my computer, and I opened it in Adobe, and I just started highlighting stuff that was important. So let's use an example right now. So this is a bib, right? This is for chemical biological warfare. This is chapter 1, nerve agents. This is one of the bibs for corpsman, and I made it. So this is one of the bibs we got for field management of chemical biological casualties. And when I get any bib, for every single bib on that page, I would open it in Adobe, break out the highlighter, and I would just read it. Anything that I thought was important, I would just highlight. And this is already done right here. And anything I thought was important, anything, if I thought it was even the least bit important, I would just highlight it. And notice that there really isn't a lot of highlights. It's only for like major stuff. So you're in the rate, so you know the stuff, or you should know the stuff that is important to your rate. That is stuff that a chief would ask you a question on, because that's basically the mindset you need to have. Because the chiefs are making the test, they're coming up with the questions from these bibs. So if I was a chief, what would I ask a younger sailor about? And that's kind of the mentality I have when I go through this. And like I said, anything that I thought was important, anything that I thought was noteworthy, I would just highlight. And there really isn't too much. So once I've highlighted everything in the document, I got to the end. This document's only 18 pages. It's not crazy. Once I got to the end, I would come to Anki. Then I would go to add. And for my type, I would always use basic, optional, reverse. Always use, for me at least, always use basic, optional, reverse. And I would just take the highlighted material. I would just copy and paste it. So let's take that off. Copy the text. I thought this was important, so I literally just copy and paste it. And I just turn it into a question. Never give more than, and just turn this into a question. So the thing I thought was important, never give more than 3 auto injectors of 2,000 milligrams IV of 2-PAM chloride per hour. I would just turn this, do whatever I do, the most simple way to turn this into a question. Never give more than how many auto injectors? Then I just put the answer here, 3. Boom, that's a card. For every single highlighted thing I had, I would do the exact same thing I did. Copy and paste the highlighted portion, turn it into a question, put the question on the front, put the answer on the back, and then once I was done, I'd hit add. And so I would also tag all of these. So if it's under the same bib, because a lot of these bibs can have multiple sections. So this bib has like chapter 1, I think chapter 3, 5, yada yada. I would just put field management casualties to tag it. So if I want to just study this bib and these cards from this specific bib specifically, I can search this tag and just study all the bibs under that tag if I'm like struggling with that specific bib. Okay, so that's how I made the whole entire deck. I did this same process, read the bib, highlight stuff that's important. After all the highlighted stuff was done, copy the highlighted section into here, turn it into a question as simply as I could, keep the question on the front, put the answer on the back, and just add. I did that for every single bib on here, and it takes a long time. This study guide took a long time to make, but it's worth it. It's completely worth it. So if you're a GM, let's go to GM. It's gonna have all your GM bibs. And man, I thought Corpsman had a bunch of bibs. This is crazy. So you do the same process. I think if you're GM, whatever your rate is, the process I just showed you is the same process you can use for every single rate. You come in here, throw that into Google. You find the most recent one, make sure it is the correct one. Then you read it, highlight the important stuff, turn it into a question. So there's a lot of bibs. Which ones should you focus on? You need to focus on your rates Bible. And so if I'm looking at this, I'm not a GM, so I don't know exactly, but I'm pretty sure it's this one. And usually whatever your Bible is, it will look like this. Navy education training. They don't have like 14 yada yada yada. That's, from my understanding, at least from the Corpsman side, that is your Bible. That's where the majority of questions come from. So if we were to go to use Corpsman as an example, right? Ours is Navy Education Training 1429 Hospital Corpsman, the Corpsman Manual, as we call it. So find your, this is the Corpsman's Bible. Find your rates Bible. You should know what that is. I believe it's this for gunnermates. Don't kill me if it's not. But find your Bible and focus a majority of your time on the Bible. So there's a lot of bibs. I went through all these for Corpsman a lot, but there's a lot. All these, you know which ones matter, you know which ones don't matter. Focus on the ones that matter the most, and it's always going to be your Bible. For the Corpsman rate, I found that majority of the questions always come from the Corpsman manual. And if it's true for Corpsman, it's probably true for other rates. So focus on that completely. And the last thing, finding bibs. So most of the bibs you can just throw into Google. Most of the bibs you can throw into Google and you'll get there. Some of these bibs, they won't show up on Google at all. What I've noticed is stuff like the manuals, like the Corpsman manual, for instance, it will not be on Google anymore. You can't just, it's not just like open to everybody. If it's not on Google, it's probably going to be on Navy e-learning. So I don't have my CAT card reach right now, but for the ones you cannot find on Google, go to Navy e-learning right here, click continue, and if you just search the exact wording, like Navy Education Training Hospital Corpsman, it should pop up there. So if it's not readily available, like publicly, if you can't search on Google and find it, it should definitely be on Navy e-learning somewhere. And in the very rare occasion that it's not on either, what I had to do for some of these, like the manual for some P5010s, I actually had to email BUMED, and they'll send you the instructions. So that's a lot. I kind of went over it really quickly, but that is how you can make your own study guide, your own effective study guide that's going to get you 80s for whatever rate you have. It's the exact same I just described the exact same process I use. So just to summarize the same process again, you're gonna pick whatever rating. You're gonna pick your correct rating. You're gonna pick the rank you want to study for. You're gonna throw these into Google or whatever search engine you use. You're going to find all these bibs, because these are where your questions, your test questions are coming from. You're gonna find all these and you're gonna read them. Then when you read them, you're going to take a highlighter and highlight the information that you think is important. Highlight whatever you think is important. Then once you highlight all the stuff you think is important, you're gonna come to Anki. You're gonna make a card for it, and you're just gonna copy and paste your important information in here. Now once your important information is copy and pasted into your card, you're gonna turn the front into a question as simply as possible, and then you're going to turn the back into the answer, like I just showed. and you do that, you rinse and repeat that process for every single bib. And then once you get to the end of all your bibs, you just study them, and the rest is history. So it is a lot of work for one person, but get all the people in your shop to help break this up into smaller bites. One dude takes like 5 bibs, one gal takes 5 bibs. Y'all all come up with questions, then you can all pull your efforts in together. But it's definitely worth it, and that's basically my process for how I made the study guide that you'd be downloading in Anki. I went through that same process with every single bib, and I did it for every single rank now. It doesn't take quite as long as you may think, but it does take some time. Like, it's not going to take you years, but it will take you maybe like a month or two, depending on how much time you dedicate to it. So this video is already long enough. So that was the process of how I made the HM study guide. And I hope if you're another rate, like a GM, BM, whatever your rate is, I hope you can use the same process I just outlined and make your own BM study guide. If you have any questions, concerns, gripes, complaints, email me. Alright, that's it. Thank you.